Hey everybody, in this video I'll show you how to play Code Blue by T.S.O.L. off the Dance With Me record. The song is in standard tuning, and if you have a quick second, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot. And check out my website, scottobryanguitar.com. I have the tab for this song as well as hundreds of other punk, rock, and grunge songs up there, as well as other resources. And here we go. Alright, so the song starts off with this intro part that goes like this. So breaking that down, we're going to start with this double note on the D and G strings at the 2nd fret. And it sounds like he might be also hitting the open note on the A string, which is also part of the A chord. So you can kind of listen, and if it sounds right to you, you can hit that note. Otherwise, you can just hit the double. And we're going to go. So we're going to play that double note, and then we're going to play it one more time, and then pull off. And just play open, and then go back to the double note. So, and then we're going to go up to the 5th fret with the double note, down to the 4th fret. So, and I like to use alternate picking on that 4th fret. Then we're going to go back to the 2nd fret, and then we're just going to play open D. So. And then we're going to go into that kind of descending notey part, and it goes like this. And then we're just going to let that last note hang. So breaking that down, we are going to play with our middle finger at the 2nd fret of the D string, and we're going to go back and forth with the D and G string, the open G string. And you can do it with all downstrokes, or you can do down up, whatever you're more comfortable with. And then we're going to do the same thing just on the 1st fret of the D string, open on the G. So. And that whole time through, we're going to let that G string ring. So we're not going to like kind of mute it or anything in between. We're just going to let it ring through. And then we're going to do the same thing, just open on the D string and open on the G. So. And then we're going to go back up to the 1st fret of the D. So. Slowly. And then continuing on, we're going to hit that G string again, that open G, and then we're going to hammer on into, from the 1st to the 2nd fret of the D string, back into the 1st note. So it sounds like this. And I think after the 4th time through, we're just going to let that last 1st fret of the D string hang. Then we're going to go into the verse part, which is basically just major chords. So we're going to start off with a D major. And so to play that, we're going to root our index finger at the 5th fret of the A string, and then we're going to bridge our ring finger across the D, G, and B strings at the 7th fret. Now you might have trouble bridging your finger all the way across like that. So if you have trouble, you can play like a 3-note power chord version, so just the index finger still at the 5th fret of the A string, and your ring finger bridged across the D and G strings. Or you can also, if you'd like to do with your ring finger and pinky at the 7th fret. Some people find that more comfortable instead of bridging. But I think the way he's playing it on the record is the major chord form, which is the 4 string. So it goes like this. So we're going to start with that D major. Then we're going to slide up to a power chord with our index finger rooted at the 10th fret of the A string. and our ring finger in the same position, bridged across the D, G, and B strings. So that's a G. So then we're going to go down to a C. And that's with our index finger rooted at the 3rd fret of the A string and our ring finger bridged across the 5th fret of the D, G, and B string. So. And then it's going to alternate with a very similar pattern, which starts at the D again. And then we're going to play the G down here, and then go to the C here. So the main difference is this G chord instead of this G chord. So we're going to do this G chord, it's a G major, and we're going to bridge our index finger across the 3rd fret of the fretboard. And a full G major, we're playing all 6 strings, but it doesn't sound like he's playing it like that on the record. So we're going to bridge our finger across, and we're going to play with our ring and pinky at the 5th fret of the A and D strings, and then our middle finger is going to be at the 4th fret of the G string. And I believe that it sounds like he's not playing that root note on the low E. So if you want to kind of bridge your finger more on the higher strings, you can play it that way. So what we're going to do is play the A, D, G, and B strings, and doesn't sound like he's playing that high E. So I think we're playing the middle 4 strings. And so you can even play it like this, if that's more comfortable for you. I find it easier to play it with the bridge note. And so we're going to play the middle 4 strings, and then we're going to go back to the C. So again, slowly, it sounds like this. So that's it for the verse, and then we're going to move on to the chorus, which again is more major chords, and it goes like this. So we're going to start with a E major, which is basically the same as those major chords we played before. Index finger rooted at the 7th fret of the A string, ring finger bridged across the 9th fret of the D, G, and B strings. Then go to the C, then the D. So we're going to go 7, 3, 5. And then we're going to just play that rhythm until the last time through, and then the last time through we're going to go E, C, to an open G. And the open G is ring finger and pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the B and E strings. Open on the D and G. First finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E. So all the way through slowly, we're going to go. And then during that chorus part, there's going to be 2 fills that Ron plays the first 2 times through. And the first one goes like this. So breaking that down, we're going to do a unison bend. So we're going to put our index finger at the 10th fret of the B string, and our ring finger is going to bend at the 12th fret of the G string. And we're going to bend it up so that the G string matches the note of the B string. So we're going to do that bend. And then we're going to do another unison bend, except we're going to bring that 12th fret on the G string down. So, and then we're just going to play that 12th fret of the G string and do the same motion, so up and down. So, and then we're going to do a pull off from the 12th to the 10th fret of the G string. And then we're going to play the 12th fret of the D string. So. Very difficult to play it the proper rhythm going with all down picking. So if you can play it with alternate picking, it's going to be a lot easier. But you can also just not pick that note on the D string and just hit it hard with your finger. So, I mean, I think he's picking it, but you could also just play it like that. And then we're going to end with a bend on the 12th fret of the G string. And it's kind of a bend up with maybe a little bit of tremolo at the end. So. And then the second fill he plays is going to be kind of Chuck Berry style. We're going to play like this. So we're going to start with our index finger bridge across the 10th fret of the B and E strings. We're going to play that twice. Then we're going to bend at the 12th fret of the G string like we did before, like a unison bend. And we're going to play that kind of rhythm. And then we're just going to end at the 13th fret of the B string, bending up and then some tremolo. So. You can use your pinky and kind of use the rest of your fingers to help push. Or if you can get there quick enough, you can play with your ring finger. So. So then after that part, we go back into the notey part. And then we're going to go into this breakdown part that goes like this. And then it's going to end on that open G like we played before. So breaking down the breakdown, we are going to play an open E. And it sounds like it's probably the bottom 4 notes of that open E. So middle finger and ring finger at the 2nd fret of the A and D string, index finger at the 1st fret of the G string, open on the low E. We're going to play the bottom 4 notes. And so we're going to palm mute, and we're going to play just the root note, which is the open E. And then we're going to accent 2 notes with the full chord. So, and we're going to do that twice. Then we're going to go to the C major chord like we did before, and do the same thing. Palm mute the first 2 notes, open on the last 2 open chords. And then we're going to go up to the D and do the same thing. And so with the palm mute, we are going to just basically take the heel of our hand and rest it across, like just in front of the bridge, like basically where you would normally pick. And we're going to mute the string slightly so it doesn't ring out, so you can hear the difference between that and that. And you can kind of experiment with like how much pressure to put down. If you put too much, it kind of clicks a little bit. It sounds weird. If you don't put enough, it'll ring out too much. So just experiment. So we're going to palm mute. And then we're, instead of going to the low E when we go the next time through, we're going to go to the high E, which is just the same major chord we played before with our index finger rooted at the 7th fret of the A. And so I think we play that part a total of 4 times through, and then the last time through we do the open G like we did before. So slowly we're going to go. And then the last time we're going to go. And then during the second time through, there's like this accent on the D chord, and it goes. So we're going to go. And again, this is like an overdub, so you can just play it like. But if you want to know what that overdubbing guitar is doing, it's playing an open D. And then we're going to use our middle finger and ring finger to kind of change the shape of the chord and to accent those notes. So we're going to play first the normal form. And the normal form is open on the D string, index finger at the 2nd fret of the G, ring finger at the 3rd fret of the B, and middle finger at the 2nd fret of the high E. We're going to play that twice. And then we're going to accent with our pinky on the 3rd fret. So we're just going to add our pinky to the 3rd fret of the high E. Then we're going to go back to the original form by taking our pinky up. Then we're going to remove our middle finger and play open on the high E. Then back to original form, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E. Then pinky, 3rd fret, high E. Then remove pinky and keep middle finger at the 2nd fret of the high E. So. Then we go back through the verse and chorus the original way we played before. Ron plays, I think, 3 fills this time. They're very similar to the first 2, so I'm not going to break them down. They're just in minor pentatonic. It's over a D chord, so you're playing it in the D position. So that's the 10th fret. And he basically will be playing that on the top 3 strings. There's a little bit of like some double stops between the 10th fret of the G and B and the 12th fret of the D and G. I think on the last fill. So for the most part, if you stick with these notes, you're going to be kind of in the position where he's playing. And you can just stick with the fills I showed you before, or you can kind of improvise in those kind of spots. So that's it for this one. I hope you liked the lesson. If you appreciate this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot. And check out my website, scottobryanguitar.com. I have the tab for this song, as well as hundreds of other punk, rock, and grunge songs up there, and other resources. And I will see you guys next time.